welcome back to my channel. Welcome to an actual sit down video instead of a vlog. It was really weird to be filming this in the middle of doing Vlogmas, but I wanted to get this up before the end of the year, and the two videos that are going to happen that week is going to be what I got for Christmas and my New Year's, like goodbye to 2021, and my hello 2022 video. So it just doesn't feel right to put that in the middle of that. So I'm going to do it now, put it in between Vlogmas just to get something different in there. I feel like it's a good time to sum up my masters anyway. Before we get into this video, I'm just going to do a little normal introduction. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amelia. I am a 25-year-old, I'm not a student anymore, I'm just 25 years old, I'm nearly 26. I'm looking for a full-time job. I'm currently working in retail, and I am loving working on my YouTube and social media at the moment. It's just something I'm really enjoying, and I think because I'm enjoying it, it makes me want to continue, which is something I love. But before we get into this video, if you could just, do the usuals, follow my social medias that are linked in the description, and my TikTok and Instagram should pop up somewhere on the screen, as they are the two I use the most. And don't forget to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to this video. And without further ado, let's just get into it, because it's gonna be a long one. As mentioned earlier, I am going to be talking about my masters, summing up my masters basically, and giving you my experience of doing a masters, because everyone's experiences are different. But before we get in, why don't you get yourself a cup of coffee, tea, water, whichever one you want, maybe your dinner, and just sit and watch this video, because I feel like it could be a long one. I'm filming this at like 11 o'clock in the morning. It's not even 11 o'clock anymore, it's probably like 11:15. It's my first cup of coffee. I am a little bit nasaled up because I took a COVID test this morning. If you've seen the vlog before this video, I would mention that I had to take COVID tests before going to the theatre for Panto. So I'm trying to take it in the morning. So I'm a little bit bunged up from that, but I'm all good. I'm negative. I need to say positive. I'm negative from COVID, and I am just a little bit bunged up from taking the test this morning. So we're just going to get into it. I'm going to stop chatting, I'm going to drink my coffee and tell you all about my masters. I actually wrote a whole list on my notebook before doing it, so I knew what I was going to talk about, because otherwise I was going to ramble on like I am now. So we're going to start with what I studied, which is a very basic thing. Well, not basic that I studied, but it's basic thing to answer. I studied digital marketing for my masters, so an MA, Masters of Arts in digital marketing. I think and why I chose the course, well, I love social media, I love that kind of side to it, and I think what drew me in is I liked marketing in my undergrad. I not enough to do it for the final 2 years, just in the first year I was compulsory to do it, and in the international marketing thing we had to do in year 2. But I didn't really do it out my own choice. But then I really realised how much I enjoyed the marketing side when I was in my undergrad, that I had to do it we didn't have to do it for my masters, but digital marketing just felt like the right way to go, because that's the way the world is going. It's going more digital over, I don't know what's the word, classical marketing. And it was what I wanted to learn, and the units seemed interesting. We'll get onto what they were in a bit. But some of them seemed very interesting. I was very intrigued to what digital marketing was going to be like, and that's why I chose that course. It was really solely based on what I wanted to do, and I think when you're choosing a masters, it's important to look at the courses, what they have, if it's something you really want to do, not just something you think you want to do, something you really want to do, you know you want to do. Because I'm telling you, it is it's not a long thing, but it's a year out of your life, and it's a year that you kind of have to know roughly what you want to get into if you're going to do it. You can't just spend your time wasting it. Undergrad, I feel like it's one of those things you could do as a, get a learning curve and then go away and do your own thing. And if you're going to go straight into a master's, I feel like it's got to be something you want to do in the future. I feel like if you're unsure what you want to do your master's in, then maybe take a break for a few years, get a job, get experience, go do what you want to do, and then come back. Because the same as an undergrad, it's never going to go anywhere. You can go back whenever you want. You don't have to go to uni straight after school. I didn't, so don't choose a course for the sake of choosing a course because you don't know what you're doing with the rest of your life. I will say I did choose to do a master's because I had no clue what I wanted to do afterwards. But I didn't choose that course because I chose the course because it looked interesting. It's what I wanted to do, and I absolutely loved it. There was things that were stressful, but I still loved it. My next one is why I chose the uni. Well, it's kind of, I say I wrote this down, but I also thought I chose the uni for my masters because I got a discount on my tuition fees. By staying at the uni I went to, you get an alumni discount because you went to the uni, so you got £1,800 off, so it'll be £7,200. And then I got a business and law scholarship, so I ended up getting a 40% off instead of 20% off. So mine was like 5,400 for the whole year, which I think was very, very decent. A very decent amount of money to pay for a master's, considering it was like £9,000 to do a master's. So I got like a lot of money off, so I'm not complaining. That was the reason I chose the uni to stay for masters. The real reason I chose that uni for uni completely was I wanted to get as far away from home as possible, but knowing that I could come home in a way easily. I can't say it was easy, but compared to some people who went to the uni, I went at Portsmouth Uni. Some of them were travelling back to so many places. Like one of them was travelling. My old flatmate in first year travelled back to Wales. So I only had a 2.5 hour journey to go to get home, which was not that bad. But it was far enough that I couldn't come home every weekend because it was going to cost me a fortune. And I needed that because I know if I had 3 choices. Sussex was the other one I really wanted to go to, but I didn't get in. And then Surrey was the other choice. And Surrey gave me a conditional, Portsmouth gave me an unconditional. And Surrey was so close to home I could easily come back and forth whenever I wanted to. And I knew I wouldn't like get the real experience from uni if I went to that one. So I thought Portsmouth was the perfect choice because it's so far away. And I fell in love with the place, so that's why another reason I chose to stay there, because I didn't want to leave. I loved Portsmouth, and I felt like I wasn't ready to say goodbye to it, so that's why I chose the uni. What was the course like? Overall, I think I had 80% great, 20% negative. What is it with me drumming when I'm talking? Oh my god, I'm such a fantastic human being. No, the course was very interesting. I think I really learnt a lot from it. I definitely enjoyed it a lot more as my undergrad. Like, I think the undergrad just became a stress that I didn't want. I didn't like it that much by the end of it. I think when you get through 3 years or something, you could either still be loving it or you could end up hating it, and I was the complete opposite of loving it. I hated it. I didn't really want to do anything I was doing. I didn't care. I wanted to get a good grade because I felt like I put myself through a lot of stress that I needed to get a good grade, but I didn't care actually about the degree. When with like what I was learning, I was like, no, not here for it. With my masters, I was very like enjoying it. I actually like learning what I was learning. Like, I actually want to really look at some of the lectures I had, because I actually enjoyed learning the stuff I learned, because it was like solely based in what I wanted to do, and I think that's why I enjoyed it a lot more, because it wasn't like with business and management, there's a lot of stuff and it's so many different things that it was very, I don't know what the word is, but it was very mishmash, and it wasn't always going to be stuff I enjoyed. Like, the units for final year was not interesting to me. I didn't like any of the units for final year, but I had to choose some, so I had to like do the ones I didn't want to do, but unfortunately I did. And in some ways I learned a lot more for the different things, but I didn't enjoy the things. Like 2 of the units I chose because my friend was doing it. That was the reason I chose the units. So with my masters, I didn't get to choose the units, but all the units seemed at least interesting and stuff I would need to know if I wanted to get in this industry. And also for the stuff I do, like social media and my Instagram and YouTube, the things that I've had to learn in this actually really has helped me understand a little bit more about my YouTube, my Instagram, and like how to market myself, but also for what I want to do in a career, it's helped me out. So I think when I found the course was very interesting to me, very, very like, it motivated me a lot. As much as like I still was stressed as always, it definitely motivated me a lot more. And what I actually wanted to do well. I actually wanted to work harder. I didn't just do I didn't just go whatever and submit it. To be fair, sometimes I did, but that was some stuff, and I'll explain that when I get to the units part. but I just didn't care enough in my undergrad, and I put a lot more care into this work because I wanted to do well. My next one as well is what are the units. So I had, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units this year. And they were all, it was all very hectic because you only had a small amount of time to complete them, but it was worth it. So I did Essentials of Marketing, Contemporary Issues in Marketing, Social Media Marketing, Consumer Insights and Analytics, User Experience, Digital Marketing Strategy, Collaborative Marketing Group Project, and Independent Marketing Research Project, which sounds all complicated, and I actually did a lot of group work. I think I did group work in social media marketing, group work in the collaborative group marketing project, and I feel like I did another piece of group work, but I think it was just 2 pieces of group work. But it felt like a lot more. But yeah, I did. It was a lot of intense, and each of the units was different, but was always very helpful. I think the first 2 units of the 2 I did not like at all because I felt like I was just in first year, especially with Essentials of Marketing, because it was stuff I did in first year, but I didn't remember half of it, and it was just so long. And the guy who ran it was lovely. I actually really loved Mick. He was such a great lecturer. I think he knew how to talk to class in some ways, and he was very fun. I think, if that's what I'm remembering, I just don't remember much because it was first term and it was a week could go into class. Contemporary Issues of Marketing. I did better than I thought I would in it, but I did not like it. I just didn't really. I understood why we had to do it because there's a lot of issues in the marketing industry right now, and it was what we had to talk about. But it was just very long-winded and hard to find an actual topic to write about. I don't remember half the coursework. I know it was split into 2. The first piece of coursework we had to write a short little paragraph thing about something about AI is artificial intelligence. And we had to do a present, or was that, I think that was a present, I don't remember. We were doing a mini presentation. My stomach is rumbling, I need lunch. But I can't remember. The second one, I do not remember what the second piece of coursework was about. Essentials of Marketing, we had 1 piece of coursework, and I don't remember what it was about though. And we had to choose a question, but I don't remember what the question I chose. And then we had to do an exam in January time, and the exam is what saved me because I got 42 in the piece of coursework. So then we did Social Media Marketing, which you could obviously tell was my favourite. When I tell you the grades I got, you'll see. But Social Media Marketing was my favourite unit of all. I love social media, as I've mentioned everywhere, and I think that's why I did so well in that unit, because I was so motivated to work on it, because that's what I want to get into. I want to do social media marketing. That's the idea of a dream job for me. I'm applying for lots of other digital marketing jobs just because I want to get a full-time job and get experience. I think the more important thing is it's not really about going straight into the field you want. It's about getting a job in the relative field, digital marketing or marketing, and then getting experience and growing from there. But social media marketing is the dream job for me. I love social media. I literally sit on it all day. And the marketing side of it is definitely different to what I thought it was going to be, but I absolutely loved it, and I thought it was really helpful. And I really understood, learned how to understand how brands pitch to influencers, how brands do their marketing compared to being on the opposite side of wanting to be an influencer, I guess, and doing all them getting the brand gifted stuff, and you're like, how do they do it? And now I understand how brands reach out and how brands do it. So it's very, very interesting and very motivating to do that. So I really love that unit. Then we did Consumer Insights and Analytics, very complex. I liked the coursework, but I didn't like the online tests, and I did not like the little certificate we had to do. That was just complicated. But I did really like the coursework. We had to interview people, our friends, about Netflix, Spotify, PlayStation, Oreos, I think it was, or something else. I chose Netflix because it's one I actually love the most, and I had a load of people actually use Netflix that I could just easily ask. So we did that, and I really enjoyed doing that coursework. I felt it was very interesting. Then we had user experience. The actual unit would have been interesting if we had a better lecturer. Our lecturer was terrible. I'm happy to shame him because he was terrible. I'm sure if my uni friends who I have a group chat with saw this video, they would agree with me. He was just terrible. The unit sounded interesting, and if he had taught better, I would have actually understood a lot more from it. I didn't do bad. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of my coursework, my units don't go below 60, so that's pretty decent compared to my undergrad. But so I didn't do bad in the unit, but I didn't learn anything in it. I kind of just was going along with the flow and just doing things because it just was terrible. His teaching could have been 10 times better. Next is digital marketing strategy. I really enjoyed that unit. I really enjoyed doing the whole like proposal. I think that was what I enjoyed. The exam was a bit tough, but I still liked it as well. I actually really liked that unit. I think it was really like, it was interesting. This was the main part of the course, I guess, because it's digital marketing strategy, and it was very interesting to learn because it was kind of like strategic marketing in my undergrad, but just better. And I learned a lot more from it. It was challenging because we had to do a project proposal for radical storage. So it was a bit complicated, but I learned so much about competitors and all these stuff in it that I actually loved. And then the group collaborative marketing project I didn't like, not because it was group work. I just didn't like the idea of it, but I understood the reason of it. We had to work with a company. I can't really talk about the company or anything I actually did for the company because I signed an NDA, but I worked with this business, and also I do remember it, but it was very interesting. We had to interview businesses, so I actually got to interview 2 of my favourite YouTubers, and it was very like daunting because I had been watching them for a good few years, and I didn't know how to I was just very nervous, but it was worth it. They were really helpful, and I really enjoyed doing it. And the whole it was very good. Like, it was a learning process, but it was not what I wanted to do. Like, it was all about research and like doing primary research and going into companies and talking to them, and I had to. It was just a challenge, and I wouldn't say it was my favourite thing, but I didn't mind it. And my final unit, independent research project, which was my dissertation, was basically the dissertation. We had to do a poster presentation and then the dissertation. And I did pretty well in that unit, considering I wouldn't say I enjoyed it because I don't like writing a dissertation, but I didn't cry at it like I did in my undergrad. So I think that was one step up. I actually think I did pretty well in my dissertation. I actually was super happy with what I got in my dissertation to the point where I wanted to cry. I got 66 in the actual report, and I got 81 in the poster presentation, and I was pretty shocked at that, so I was pretty happy with myself, and I'm so proud of myself. I just gave away my marks, kind of, but I will get to that in a second. I'm going to quickly go and sneeze, and then I'll come back. Okay. The next one I'm going to talk about is basically give you the rundown of my grades. I'm not going to just split them up with what I got in each piece of coursework. I'm just going to read you out what I got overall, so it shouldn't be too long. So in Essentials of Marketing, I got a 60, which, if you know the uni grades, it is a 2-1, just. In Contemporary Issues in Marketing, I got a 66, which I was really shocked about, to be honest. Social media marketing, which I mentioned is one of my favourite units, I got a 75, which is a first, and I was very shocked at that grade, but I was very happy with that grade. Absolutely loved it. I think I smashed it. I think our group smashed the work so well. Consumer Insights and Analytics, I got 69. Really annoyed that they didn't round it up to 670, but they rounded it up from 68.5, I think, so can't complain. I don't really think it was that, but it's 69, and I could have done better. I could have got 70, which is really annoying, but it's okay. I can accept it. I got limited user experience, which is the one I said we got a terrible teacher. Got 62, which again is pretty decent considering I didn't learn anything. Digital marketing strategy, I got a 68, which I thought was a pretty good grade. I really enjoyed it as well. And the group collaborative marketing project, I got a 77, which I think really helped with the group work. I had a really good group, to be honest. I worked with 2 people from my social media marketing group, and then 2 other people who were really nice, and I was really good to work with. And then in my independent research project, I overall got 71. And then overall for my whole masters, I have mentioned it before in the vlog, I'm pretty sure, and if not, I've mentioned it on my Instagram. I got a distinction, and if you watched my New Year's goals for last year, well for this year's goals, goodbye 2020, hello 2021, and I will be saying this in my goodbye 2021, hello 2022. I said I was aiming for a merit, and I nearly did get it because I was actually, I didn't know if they were going to round it up or not. Luckily, they rounded it up, and I got a distinction, so I was very happy with myself, very proud of myself. I think I really deserved that. So yeah. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is like the deadlines, what they were like. I'm not going to say what I did because I think I've already run it down briefly. But the deadlines were, I think, they were very much more time demanding. But the way they said it on the first day made it seem like it's more daunting than it actually was in my head. Like I felt like, I say that actually that's a complete lie. The amount of deadlines we had at the same time was very stressful. We had several deadlines that were happening around the same time, and it became a point where like, how do I focus on one? How do I focus on both? We had one that was due for all on the same day, and to be fair, they weren't meant to be, but due to the uni system getting hacked, basically, our deadlines got pushed forward. If you like got pushed, I don't know what it was. Basically got pushed back, I think the word is, and we got an extension around the deadline, so it made all three of them have to be due in on the 17th of May. Bearing in mind that was the day when my job reopened, so the week before that I had to go for training, and I was like, I've got to go for this training, but I've also got a load of uni work to do. It was a bit of a nightmare. Like, I had group work that was due. It was meant to be due on the 10th, I think it was, and that was the day of the Real Road Show for the work. We had to go to it. It was compulsory to go to this Real Road Show. That I'd already been on. Didn't really want to go again, but I had to. And at the same point, I had this group work that was meant to be done that day. Luckily, we got an extension, so I was actually able to go to the Real Road Show, but it was just a bit hectic. So the deadlines were a bit like chaotic and stressful. The one I found the hardest to do though was the dissertation, because we were doing a dissertation once all that teaching had been finished. We had no other uni work to do, and it was like whilst everyone was enjoying their summer and everything was open again. So you imagine everything being open, your friends going out, and your uni friends going out because they're on summer vacation. Oh my god, I said American, summer holidays. And then there's me still doing my uni work till October. It was a bit stressful, but I got it done, and earlier than planned, and I was very happy about it, so can't complain. Sorry, I'm trying to read my writing now and I can't. The next one is, how did I find the work? Well, compared to my undergrad, I found it a lot more motivating, and I really enjoyed doing the work this time. I actually wanted to work. Okay, I honestly sometimes think I hated doing it at the time, but then when I was doing it, now that I've done, I'm like, oh, I actually enjoyed that. So it's very I found it a bit more motivating than I did in my undergrad. There were still times I was like, I can't be bothered to do this work. I just don't want to do it. Like, I think every student goes through that. But I think compared to my undergrad, I wanted to do this a lot more, so worth it. And finally, how would I prepare to do a master's if I was to do it again? It was more like, instead of preparing, I would actually read the additional reading that they say to you to read. I never read it. I just skimmed it, or I didn't even skim it. I just like, yeah, I did it, but I didn't. And then when it came to doing the work, I'd try and find it in a book, but other than that, I would never do the additional reading. Didn't care enough for it. I think I would, I don't know, I don't know what I'd do differently, because I actually think this year I did a lot different to what I did in my undergrad, and I think I was really more motivated because I did that, so I'm not sure what I would do differently. But yeah, that is my masters. I do have one piece of advice though for you, and I think I say it a lot, is if you're going to do a masters, try and find a friendship group in your masters, because I found my group of friends, as in Ben, Falcon, Sabrina. Why do I always say Ben first? he's gonna literally go on about that if he sees this. But yeah, I saw a group of friends and many of them friends, and I'm not saying I used them to help me with doing uni work because we're still really good friends now, and I really enjoy really enjoy being friends with them. I really enjoy hanging out with them. Like when I get to go to Portsmouth, like I'm doing something with them for my birthday, and but it really did help during uni to have those three helping me out, like when you like helping each other out, going over like what we could do and how to do the work and stuff. It was really helpful, and it is really helpful to have that group of friends at uni and doing a masters, because you can easily make friends in your undergrad. You've got 3 years to do it, but in a masters it's a lot. I wouldn't say it's a lot harder to, but for this year it was because we were doing a lot of it online. But I feel like it's a bit different to making friends there because you're not really going to be going out as much. It's going to be so different. There's a lot more age variety. I guess there were a lot more people my age doing my masters than there was in my undergrad. Like in my undergrad, my 2 best friends from my undergrad are younger than me, and then my friends from my masters, apart from one, are the same age as me. So it's very different. But anyway, that is the end of this masters roundup. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, please comment down below, please subscribe, and please keep watching my Vlogmas vlogs because I am enjoying editing them right now, which means I'm actually enjoying doing them, and I would love it if people could watch them. And yeah, I will see you again. Probably the next sit down video will be what I got for Christmas video, so keep an eye out for that. I will try and film it on Christmas Day, if not another day, but you will see me before that in vlogs. I love you guys so much.